Last month, my family and I embarked on an exciting 1-month adventure in Eastern Europe. And guess what? Even though I brought fancy camera gear with me, I even made a packing video showcasing it all, I quickly realized that my iPhone was the most convenient and versatile camera for the job. And even funnier is that I recently switched from Android to iPhone, and clearly I'm comfortable enough with this phone to rely on it as my primary camera. But anyway, throughout this whole experience, I came up with 10 tips that can help you maximize the potential of your iPhone camera. We'll start with my exact iPhone camera settings and then move on to practical tips for shooting and managing your iPhone photos and videos. Tip number 1 is all about changing your camera settings. Now believe me, this applies to every new camera that you get. The default settings usually are not the best, so it's important to customize them to your liking. To access your camera settings on your iPhone, you're gonna have to go into the Settings app. From there, scroll down to Camera. Now let's move on to tip number 2, which is all about setting the photo and video formats in your iPhone camera. I have mine set to high efficiency to reduce the file size. Plus, it's necessary if you want to shoot cinematic videos with a blurred out background and also 4K 60 frames per second videos. Just below that, you'll find options for shooting Apple ProRAW and ProRes, which offer the highest quality photos and videos. However, I personally leave these options turned off because the file sizes that they produce take up a lot more space. And honestly, I'm perfectly happy with the quality that I get without using these Pro formats. Moving on to the record video section, here's where you can choose your preferred resolution and frame rate. Now for me, I like to shoot about 75% of my footage in 4K 30 frames per second. Occasionally, I'll switch over to 4K 60, especially for fast-moving scenes where I might want to slow down the footage in post-production. Later on in this video, I'll show you how to easily switch between frame rates and resolutions within your camera app. Tip number 3 is a game changer. Did you know that you can use the volume button on the side of your phone as a shutter button for your camera? By enabling the Use Volume Up for Burst option, you can shoot a series of photos with just a tap. This is especially useful when shooting fast-moving subjects, like my 2-year-old toddler. When shooting videos, it also allows you to start and stop recording, which is super handy if you're in front of the camera to take selfies, and you can't reach the shutter button on the screen so easily. Now let's move on to tip number 4, which is all about enabling the Preserve Settings option. This allows you to save certain settings that you want to be retained every time you open your camera app. For example, if you want to enable camera mode, it will remember the last mode that you use, such as video, instead of automatically switching to photo mode every time you open the camera app. Alright, those were some important camera settings to tweak on your iPhone, but now let's move on to practical shooting tips. Tip number 5 is all about reviewing your shots as you go. It's essential to take a look at your footage periodically, preferably at the end of each day. This serves 2 purposes. First, you can ensure that your footage is technically sound and free of any issues. For example, really early on in our trip, we discovered that the sound quality wasn't up to par, so we were able to make adjustments by using an external microphone or switching over to another camera when necessary. If I hadn't reviewed my footage, I wouldn't have caught this error and I couldn't have actually solved the problem. Second, reviewing your shots helps you to see how your video is coming together as a whole. It allows you to identify any gaps where you might need to go back and capture additional shots to better tell your story. When I review my footage, I love using wireless earbuds to enhance my viewing experience. And in this video, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Soundcore by Anchor, and their brand new wireless earbuds, the Soundcore Liberty 4NCs. These earbuds are a game changer when it comes to audio quality and noise reduction. With their adaptive ANC 2.0 technology, these earbuds can reduce noise by up to 98.5%. It uses real-time calculations to detect noise and creates a new sound filter curve, resulting in a superior noise-canceling experience. You'll enjoy studio quality sound that is incredibly crisp, clear, and detailed. You can get up to 10 hours of playtime on a single charge, which is twice as long as most competitors out there. These earbuds are available for just $99 US, and for a limited time starting right now, you can save $20 with their early bird discounts. Check out the link below for more details. And with that, let's dive right back into iPhone shooting tips. Tip number 6 is all about using camera shortcuts to speed up your shooting process. Now, instead of unlocking your phone and searching for the camera app every time you want to use it, try using these shortcuts. When your phone is asleep, you can simply tap and hold the camera icon on the lower right corner. And you can also swipe down from the top of your screen and tap the camera icon. These shortcuts will save you valuable time whenever you want to capture super spontaneous moments. Next up is tip number 7, which is to use action mode. This is a brand new feature on the iPhone 14. To activate it, you have to make sure that you're in video mode and then you tap on the running man icon. Action mode produces incredibly stabilized video, which is pretty comparable to what you'll get with an action camera like a GoPro. However, there are a few limitations to keep in mind. Currently, it's limited to 2.8K or 1080p resolution, so you can't shoot in 4K with action mode. Additionally, action mode crops into your frame slightly, and it works best in well-lit environments. So it's not something that you want to have active all the time, but whenever you need extra stabilization, it's a fantastic option to have on your phone. Tip number 8 is to change your video resolution and frame rates directly from the camera app. You can tap on the video resolution within the camera app to switch between 4K and HD or 1080p video, and also do the same to choose your different frame rates like 24 frames per second, 30 or 60 frames per second. Why might you want to do this? Well, if you have limited storage on your iPhone like I do, and you're concerned about running out of space, but you also want to be able to shoot in high resolution video, then adjusting your resolution and frame rates periodically and only using super high res video when you actually need it can help you manage your storage effectively. Moving on to tip number 9, let's talk about utilizing all of the zoom options available on the iPhone. So with the iPhone 14 Pro and the Pro Max, you can access different lenses, these back here, by tapping on the circular buttons on the touchscreen within the app. But did you know that you can actually have even more control over your zoom? If you tap and hold any of the circular zoom indicators, a little wheel appears, and that gives you the ability to dial down your zoom up to 15 times. Now keep in mind that this uses digital zoom, so the image quality might not be as good as using the zoom that comes on your lenses, which is optical zoom, but it does give you more precise control over your zoom levels. Lastly, tip number 10 is all about constantly backing up your footage. One drawback of shooting on an iPhone is that you can't swap out memory cards. Once your phone's storage is full, then you'll have to delete files to free up space to continue shooting. Now, the cheapest and fastest way to do this is to use a cable to connect your phone to your computer and manually transfer files, or use AirDrop to transfer files to your iPad or your MacBook. So this is something that I did do, but I also did a cloud storage backup on top of that as my secondary and tertiary level of backup storage. I personally use 2 cloud backup methods. SmugMug, which automatically uploads all of my photos and videos from my phone to the app, and also my Synology NAS or home server, which has a mobile phone app for automatic cloud backups. Both of these cloud backups are not free, they do cost money, but they both offer unlimited storage in a sense. And so it's something that I always have on every single phone that I own, so that I always have it online cloud backup of all of my photos and videos. And there you have it. These are my exact iPhone camera settings that I use throughout my 1 month of travel adventure, along with some valuable shooting tips to help you get the most out of your iPhone camera. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for even more content that's like this. As always, leave me any comments or questions down below, and don't forget, when in doubt, just shoot it.